Chapter 6 Autobiography of Gulliver. About the chapter. This chapter is about the journey of a person among the five of my father. We had a small estate in Nottinghamshire, in North England. I studied medicine in London and Holland. I married Mary Button, the second on. It set sail from Bristol on 4th May, 1699. We were making a voyage to the South Sea. In November, we were on our way to the East Indies. It was summer in these parts. Suddenly, a terrible storm broke out and drove us to the northwest of Van Diemen's Land, near Australia. It was mystery all over and we could not see things clearly. Antelope struck with a big rock and broke into pieces. All the sailors and passengers got into boats. We fought the waves with our oars for a long time. The sea grew rougher and in about half an hour, the waves turned the boat upside down. Now I could not see my friends. I began to swim. The waves and the wind carried me over some distance. Now I could see an island at some distance, but no strength was left in my limbs to swim. I gave up all hopes of life and let my legs drop. To my great surprise, I found that the sea was not deep there. My feet could touch the floor and my head was above water. I walked in water, slowly and slowly. I reached the shore. I walked on the seaside for some distance. Now I was too tired to move. I sat down and breathed deeply. I closed my eyes and lay down on the ground. I slept soundly for a long time. When I opened my eyes, sun rays were falling on my face. I tried but I could not move. I found that a number of strings held my arms and legs tightly. I felt something crawling on my chest up to my chin. It was a human being not more than 6 inches tall. He had a bow and arrow in his hands. Soon many of them reached on to catch at them. The little man ran back. Some of them jumped to the ground in terror. Soon a lot of arrows came flying at my left hand. They pricked me like many needles, so I decided that it would be wise to be quiet and not move. Then they stopped the shooting. Soon I started feeling hungry. I kept putting my finger to my open mouth. This was a sign that I wanted food. They were intelligent men. They moved a number of ladders to my side. About 100 little men climbed up the ladders and walked towards my mouth with many baskets full of food. I ate 3 loaves of bread at a time. All the time, they gave little cries of wonder at my size and appetite. Then they opened the barrels of drink into my mouth. I drank 1 barrel in 1 gulp and demanded more. Again there was shouts of joy and wonder. Then they removed the pins from my body and rubbed a medicine. They had mixed a sleep-giving drug in my drink. I felt asleep again. In the meanwhile, they made a long cart to carry me to the capital. They lifted me onto the carriage with the help of ropes passing over the pulleys. Then they tied me to the carriage. 1,500 of king's horses, each about 4.5 inches high, pulled the carriage to the capital. While the carriage was on the way, 2 soldiers climbed upon my face to look me closely. One of them stuck his spear a good way in my nose. It tickled like a straw and made me sneeze loudly. The little soldier fled in terror. The carriage reached the capital next day at noon. The king, the queen, and all his court came to see me. Thousands of citizens gathered to have a look of mine. When they saw that I did not mean to do them any harm, they untied my coat. They allowed me to stand up, but they took care to chain my left foot with 90 chains. The priest and lawyer spoke to me. I also spoke to them in as many languages as I knew. Neither they nor I could understand each other's language. I showed gestures of respect to the king, the queen, and the officers. So the king was pleased very much. The king ordered for the arrangement of my food and house. 6 teachers were appointed to teach me the language of the country. I have made great progress in my learning. In a few weeks, I was able to converse with the king. I lived happily among the little people. They were learned men in skill and grace. The Lilliputians were far above the men in every other country. I helped the king of Lilliput against a war waged by the neighboring king of Blefuscu. At this, the king of Lilliput conferred on me the title of Nadab, the highest honor in the kingdom of Lilliput. 3 weeks later, the king of Blefuscu sent messengers of peace to Lilliput. They invited me to their kingdom. I asked the king of Lilliput for his permission. He said, yes, very reluctantly. The Blefuscudians welcomed one. I enjoyed their food, drinks, songs, and dances. 3 days after arrival, I saw a boat on the shore. I got it repaired with the help of their workers. Meanwhile, some officials of Lilliput advised their king to get me press charges against me and sent a messenger. I begged the king of Blefuscu to return to my country. He agreed to gold coins and other gifts. On the 14th of April, 1702, everyone at the ship and in England did not believe my story. They would cry, "Come, come, good sir, surely you have been dreaming." Then I showed them some tiny cattle which I had brought home along with me, and they had nothing to say but